Hello and welcome to the DGP project. Today we want to talk about some loadout lessons which we've learned from 2016, more from the hardcore one. And again, sorry for using the word hardcore, but it's kind of our best way to describe any kind of a milsim which happens at the end of the year, like in November in Ontario, in the swamps there, during rain, during cold, and no shelter, and basically running around for 48 hours on the run trying to hide from the enemy. Those milsims can quickly mean dehydration, sleep deprivation, hypothermia, but at the same time, they really stress your gear to the max. And the learnings from all those stress testing and all the mistakes I've done are kind of the topics for today. So we're going through a list of the good and the bad experiences because I want to believe that way it's way more efficient than going through the entire loadout again and purely just focus on the lessons learned today. And yes, you will hear a few things which I've learned, a few lessons which sound absolutely stupid. Some might be surprising, some might be common sense, but if common sense is really a thing, then those kind of post-mortem videos, which I'm doing right now, wouldn't be very popular at all. We split up all those experiences and lessons into 3 videos in no any particular order, besides the fact that we always want to have a good and a bad one after each other. But let's start with more of an unusual one. So yeah, the unusual one, which I just mentioned, is, well, baby food. No kidding. It's an idea which one of our teammates had, and let's quickly go through the ideas behind it. As you see, it is small, it is pretty light, it's easy to eat, it's quick to eat, it tastes good, and it doesn't make you bloated at all. And the cat apparently likes it too. The problem is that most of them are based on sugar. And we don't want to quickly get a big sugar rush during the middle of a game. Ideally, you want to have something more prolonged. So ideally look more for the vegetable ones or the meat ones, or not necessarily always on the fruity ones, even though they taste a lot better. So far I can tell from the game experiences, they actually work really well. You can really eat them quickly. I didn't get bloaty. They tasted good. Each of them have about 70 calories. They give you a good, nice boost in between. And often speed is the essence. But the one biggest advantage, which I didn't really realize before, is that they don't really leave you a dry mouth. Often if you eat a protein bar, if you're exhausted or tired, you have this feeling in your mouth and you can't really eat and quickly swallow stuff. This goes super quick and easy. All in all, they're a great alternative, but I wouldn't just focus on baby food itself. Ideally also have something else in your pack if you're on the move, like protein bars, Cliff bars, beef jerky or anything else. Last not least, really stay away from the fruity ones. There's nothing else than sugar bombs. The meat or vegetable ones, they obviously have more protein, more calcium, way less sugar. So I highly recommend those ones. They might not taste that good, but they're way better than those ones. Well, let's now continue with a bad lesson learned. And that was my way too big CP or base backpack. Because the principal idea was quite simple. You take a big backpack, you put all the essential stuff in there for the camp, like extra food, extra water, isomat, ranger blanket, some other extra equipment here and there, and you haul it all to your CP, to your hidden camp, and then you actually take off the small backpack, which you also have strapped on it, and then you're ready to go, and you never have to move this big backpack again. Wow. In a previous video, I already talked about a small little backpack, which I strapped on my big CP bag, so I'm not going to go through all the specifics here again. I only have one picture left of the big backpack with a small backpack attached to it, and the big bag on the side, the camel one, that was actually my loadout bag, which stayed in the car. I guess all the clothing inside, chest strap, and so on. At the start, it all worked fine. Sure, the backpack was heavy as fuck because I had like 8 liters of water in there alone, plus all the other crap. But that was all to be expected. Then, however, the unpredictability of the game kicked in and the harshness of the terrain. We extracted at 1:30 a.m. at night and bushwhacked through really thick bushes, which turned out to be actually a really deep swamp. Really a lot of uneven terrain. We had to take point, and after 1.5 hours, we finally reached our first campsite. Just to turn out that one of our prisoners had a hidden GPS tracker between his ass cheeks, which means we had to change our camp once again. And again, because the second one wasn't really good again. But anyhow, we moved around with this stupid backpack for hours through the night, and that was really, really killing me. Trust me, it wasn't pleasant at all. And on the way out, I got rid of all my waters just to make sure that the pack finally becomes light. The lesson learned is simple. Keep your packs as light as possible. I know it sounds common sense, but I try to add some comfort things in there, like camping stuff, maybe a little bit too much water, and so on. But really, it's just 48 hours. Get rid of comfort, get rid of any extra weight, get rid of anything you don't really, really need. Only pack the essential items, and that's about it. So rather embrace the discomfort and the suck up than suffering because you wanted to have the extra comfort. Next time, I might actually try the Iblis stock Skycrane concept to begin with a backpack in the middle, instead of having an additional small backpack attached to it. Or I might go for a way smaller backpack for all of it together to begin with.